Hey, how's it going, guys? Domino Paris 21 here, and back again with yet another deck profile for you all. So of course the deck I have to profile for you guys is my Beast Diety Ethics Buster deck. Excuse me. So Ethics Buster is definitely another card I was really looking forward to upon the release of set 10. A nice support card for Beast Deities, which is something that they really needed for some time, and definitely a great investment, especially with the amount of support that they're going to get in the future sets. So a lot of great options in store for them. But as of right now, the deck's really a lot of fun to play, and even with the few support cards that got in set 10, it definitely gave this deck a nice little upgrade. So without further ado, let's actually get to it. So first things off, for your starter, you have your Beast Diety Riot Horn, the card released in set 10 for Beast Deities. So what he does is, whenever you stand a Beast Diety rear guard, well, it's a Pioneer, so whenever you ride a green one over it, it goes anywhere in the field. But whenever you stand a Beast Diety rear guard in the same column as him, you stand him up as well. So essentially, you essentially restand a whole column when you stand one Beast Diety. So really nice, of course, with the restanding skills that this deck has built in. Allows you just to recycle a whole column pretty much, so really good effective card. I am a little tempted at playing Beast Diety White Tiger, which is the older starter, instead of him, just because, you know, with Eradicators and Kagros, this card won't even like last on the field at all. So, you know, and especially my locals, I do anticipate a lot of Kagros and Eradicators, so, you know, this starter is really good, but like it's useless against them. So at least with White Tiger, you have the chance at least getting a skill off before your opponent has a chance to kill it. So, but Riot Horn is really good. Now next up for grade 3s, of course, you have your 4 copies of Beast Diety Ethics Buster. This is the break ride for Novas. So what he does is, when you ride a Nova Grappler unit on top of him, your Vanguard gets plus 10k, and for the rest of the turn, when your Vanguard attacks, you stand up your front row. So that's pretty good. Really, obviously you combo with Riot Horn to restand a whole column, so that's pretty good. What I like with the Ethics Buster as well, especially running 4 in the deck, is that, I mean, he's a very effective break ride by himself, so you can easily break ride over break ride, and it's a very effective skill. Because that's really what I try to go for in the deck. I try to like break ride ethics over ethics and wear my opponent down, so that way I don't have to use counterblast when I start pushing afterwards with Illuminal Dragon. So Illuminal Dragon, of course, is another Beast Diety. Now, so Illuminal Dragon, technically speaking, he does combo really well with Ethics Buster to essentially like attempt to restand the whole field. Basically, but what I found is you don't really have to like use Illuminal Dragon's skill the same turn as Ethics Buster, because like I said, basically with Ethics Buster, he does what Illuminal Dragon essentially does anyway, so you can like save the counterblast and then use it next turn, so you continue to wear your opponent down. But yeah, with Illuminal Dragon, if you don't know what he does is Limit Break 4, when he attacks the Vanguard, you counterblast 3, stand 2 Beast Deities. So that's pretty good. So like I said, that's where Riot Horn comes in, which allows you just to restand a whole column as well. So that's pretty good. So I run 4-4 just because it gives me more access to 11k base Beast Deities, which a problem that Beast Deities have, at least before and kind of now, is that they don't really have a lot of good standalone beaters to work with. So just running 4-4 gives you more access to more 11k beaters. So it's pretty good. So yeah, very powerful combo, and yeah, that's really all the grade 3s you need. So next up for grade 2s, you have 4 Beast Diety Hatred Chaos. Kind of looks like a Sonic character or something like that. I don't know why. But yeah, Hatred Chaos, he is a 12k attacker for Beast Diety, so when he attacks and you have a Beast Diety Vanguard, gains plus 3k, so it's definitely a much needed card in this deck, because like I said, before, this deck lacked a lot of good standalone Beast Diety beaters, so it's really nice to see that they finally get a 12k attacker. Still waiting on the K-Clone, but that'll be for future sets. But yeah, definitely a great addition to this deck. Then of course you have your 4 copies of Golden Anglet. Of course, nice little card. Whenever you stand him up, he gains plus 3k, so he's kind of like a 12k attacker when you stand it. So obviously you combine it with Ethics Buster and Illuminal. There are some plays where you can essentially maybe stand him up twice, and then you can maybe even hit for 20k with the trigger, which I'll explain how that works in a little bit. But yeah, just another good Beast Diety target. And then finally for grade 2s, you just have 2 copies of King of Sword. King of Sword, I really wish this was the Beast Diety 10k vanilla, which you know, it's not out yet. But it's still, King of Sword is really good just because for the grade 2s, I don't really have a good ideal turn 2 ride. So King of Sword kind of plays that role because really good 10k body, especially when you're dealing with decks such as Eradicators, which they have that Lenshu starter, which can like, you know, kill anything in your back row when it hits. So maybe if you go first against it and then ride this, you can potentially block it with the 10k shield. Because normally with Eradicators, they mainly play like 9Ks anyway. So 9K boosted by the Lenshu is only hitting for 14, so you can like no pass it with the 10K. So possibly you have a greater chance of your Riot Horn surviving. So King of Sword is just really good. I mean, I still love this artwork on this guy. So yeah, 10Ks are always solid and consistent. The next up for grade 1s, you have 4 copies of Beast Diety White Marsh. Really nice, good pressure card. So what he does is whenever he boosts and the attack hits, you counterblast 1, put him in the soul, and then you stand up a Beast Diety. So again, another good card to combo with Riot Horn, just to, you know, you obviously attack with the column with Riot Horn. White Marsh usually is behind the Vanguard, just to, of course, increase the chance of it hitting, and then you can just restand the whole column, so that's pretty good. Another play you can do, like if you're making a push, I mean, you could combine it with Anglet. So obviously you attack 1 time, get off the skill of your Ethics Buster, you know, stand it up, and then if you can hit with the White Marsh, you know, you can stand it up again. So then it'll be a 15k base attacking, and with the trigger it's 20k. So it helps give you some more added push to help force out some extra damage or extra cards from your opponent's hand. So, and it's a good 7k Beast Diety. So really good solid card. Then you have 4 Twin Bladers. 4 Perfect Guards, very essential, especially in this meta. The only exception would be like, you know, Spike Brothers, which I play 3 Perfect Guards in just because they can kill your opponent very quick. But every other deck I say run 4 Perfect Guards. Then I do run 3 Tough Boys. I like Tough Boys a lot. It's the same idea with King of Sword. If you can ride Tough Boy first, most grade 1s now that are played, AKs aren't really played too often anymore. So a lot of times your opponent will just have like a 7k base grade 1 backed by like a 5k starter, so it allows you to potentially 10k guard for no pass on the Vanguard, which can definitely be huge. You know, saves yourself some damage. And mainly I like to put Tough Boy behind the Ethics Buster, because when Ethics Buster is boosted by a Nova Grappler, he gains plus 2k, so it allows you to hit for 21. So really nice number. So yeah, really good card. Tough Boy is always solid. Then you have 2 copies of Beast Diety Hilarity Destroyer. He's a decent solid card coming from set 10. I do like that he's Beast Diety grade 1, that's a 7k. So that's pretty nice, just in case maybe, you know, you have to restand a single column with the Illuminal Dragon as opposed to maybe like, you know, restanding 2 front row attackers. So it does give you that option. He has a decent skill too, maybe if you're going second. So like what he does is when he hits your opponent's Vanguard, you can discard and draw if you have a Beast Diety Vanguard. So it's not bad early game to maybe try and help fix your hand, but I mainly like that he's a Beast Diety 7k grade 1. That's really the main reason why he's in this deck. So really good. I wish these were K clones, but like I said, they're not out just yet. And then last but not least, you have 2 Clay Doll mechanics. These are kind of like my 2 techie cards in the deck. It's really good late game, especially it does enable you to get off Illuminal Dragon skill multiple times because it is Counterblast 3. There are times where I actually didn't really need the Clay Dolls, but it did help me. It did help me more oftentimes than not, just to enable Illuminal's skill again, just to continue making that push at your opponent. Because the whole point of this deck, of course, is just continue abusing these 2 card skill as much as you can, just to keep wearing down your opponent. So that's pretty much what this deck. That's pretty much how this deck wins. So Clay Doll mechanics really good for those late game scenarios. And last but not least for triggers. I was kind of a little experimental with this, but I decided to just go with something just stable and consistent, which is 4 Red Lightning for 4 crits. These can go in soul to unflip a damage, so not too bad late game if you really need to. 2 more crits, so that's 6 crit. 4 gongs, and 2-3 minutes for 6 draw, and 4 heal. So simple as that. Now a strong consideration is I may actually put in some stand triggers in the deck, just because, you know, stand triggers is another way to help wear your opponent down, and like I said, it just gives you more opportunities to abuse your Riot Horn. And it does give you more opportunities to abuse your Riot Horn, and you can even like maybe stand another booster when you're trying to go off with your Break Rod or Illuminal Dragon. So it's another good consideration. I just ran 6/6 just because, you know, crits is always nice. Because obviously, you know, crits is always nice just to try and get your opponent to that 4 or 5 damage mark as quickly as possible so you can start wearing them down with your boss's skills. And the 6 draw, what I find just with this deck is, you know, you're going to be committing to the field a lot, and your field's going to get wore down a lot, you know, whether you're playing against Eradicators, Kagero, retiring your field, or your opponent's just going to continue attacking your front row. So it's nice just to have the extra draw triggers just to help try to replenish your hand while dealing with that kind of onslaught that your opponent's going to give to your deck. So definitely nice, stable. It's very stable and very inconsistent for me. So yeah, it works out. So yeah, so there you have it, guys. That goes my deck profile for Ethics Buster. As always, feel free to leave a comment down below with any questions and such. And as always, don't forget to leave a thumbs up to this video. That's always appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. And without further ado, guys, thank you guys so much again for watching. And I'll see you guys next time. See ya.